Okay, welcome back, everybody. We are diving deep into a track today that I know a lot of you have been talking about. And I gotta say, it's one that really caught my ear too when I first heard it.
Yeah.
Joe Davis.
By Demigod Mingo.
Demigod Mingo.
Davis, yeah.
You know, a lot of you guys sent this in, and I can see why. It's not just, a catchy song.
Right.
It's like, it's a statement about the hustle.
Yeah.
The dream.
It is.
And what both of those things, kind of what they cost.
Absolutely.
So let's unpack this a little bit. What is Demigod Mingo really trying to tell us here about success, and where do you fit into all of this?
It's interesting you say statement, because it does feel like more than just a song, right?
Yeah.
It's grappling with some pretty serious questions, I think, about ambition.
Yeah.
Wealth. Happiness even.
Yeah.
And it's all in a way that feels super relevant, I think, for a lot of people today.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And one of the first things that really jumped out at me when I was listening to this was the repetition of this phrase, to put food on the table.
Yeah. It's all over the place.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost like a survival mantra in a way, right?
Right.
But is it just about like putting food on the table? Or is there like a deeper hunger that Demigod Mingo is trying to get at here?
Well, I think it definitely speaks to a kind of, I don't know, anxiety we all feel, this pressure, right? To constantly be hustling.
Yeah.
Even when we're not even really sure what it is we're chasing.
Totally.
So in a way, I think Joe Davis, whoever this Joe Davis is, he becomes this symbol of the grind. He's like this caricature of the entrepreneur, always chasing some new income stream, competing. I mean, he even says he competes with the caterers.
Yeah, he does. He says, to put food on the table is something I can pull. Joe Davis income streams. I play favorites. To put food on the table, I compete with the caterers.
Right. So, and there's this like sense that he's never satisfied.
Yeah.
He's always got to have more.
Which makes those lines about money and happiness that much more interesting, because on the one hand, he says, us money talks, I'm investing mine.
Right.
But then he follows that up by saying, are you wired for status or happiness? Everything is best when it's balanced.
It's almost like he's acknowledging this trap, right?
Yeah.
But he can't escape it.
That tension,
Yeah.
that push and pull, that's what makes Joe Davis so compelling, I think.
Yeah.
Because he's not out here just glorifying the hustle. He's actually questioning it,
Yeah.
Is this Joe Davis, is he really happy with all of his kingdom, as he calls it?
Right.
Or is there just this emptiness underneath it all?
Yeah, that's a great question. It reminds me, I don't know if this is too basic, but it reminds me of that whole age-old question, right?
Oh, yeah.
Can money buy happiness? Right, exactly.
I mean, and Demigod Mingo, he doesn't give us a straight answer,
And it's the beauty of it.
Which is part of why it, it sticks with you.
Yeah.
For sure.
It makes you think.
Definitely makes you think. But, this whole idea of this drive for success, it also raises this question of authenticity, I think. Right?
Indubitably.
And I think Demigod Mingo kind of addresses this head on with that line. He says, your words are who they want to be, but the action is who they are.
Oh man, that's my favorite line.
Yeah. That one really got me too,
So good. It's powerful.
It's powerful.
It's all about walking the walk, not just talking the talk, right?
Yeah.
And especially in this world where we all live online now,
Yeah.
It's so easy to project this image of success. But Demigod Mingo, I think he's pushing us to look beyond that, to look at what people are actually doing. And Joe Davis, for all of his hustling, he's ultimately defined by his actions.
Yeah.
And those actions,
Yeah.
they paint a complicated picture.
They do. And speaking of complicated pictures, man, some of the imagery in this song.
Oh, it's so vivid, so visual.
Oh, so vivid. I mean, this Pop Smoke Rosary line, that stopped me in my tracks the first time I heard it.
Oh, me too.
What do you think he's doing with that? Is that like an homage, or is it meant to be provocative, or is it something else altogether? It's so loaded.
It's really brilliant, I think, because it forces us to confront all of these clashing ideas.
Right.
You have the streets on one hand and then you have the sacred on the other.
Right.
Ambition, mortality.
Right.
It's almost like Demigod Mingo is saying that those lines, they get blurred.
Yeah.
They get blurred in the pursuit of this dream, you know? I mean, think about it. The rosary
Right.
usually is associated with faith.
Protection.
Yeah, protection, exactly.
Yeah.
But then you have it juxtaposed with this image of Pop Smoke.
Right.
You know, this rising star, this incredible talent who was tragically cut down, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a reminder that success can be fleeting.
Yeah.
And the path to it can be really, really dangerous.
It can be. It can be. And maybe that kind of leads into this last thing that we wanted to touch on today, which is this idea of resilience.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the song, he says, dreams come true and escape the nightmares. Don't care about the bus when you are light years and destined, 'cause I don't cry tears. I mean, there's just this sense of defiance in that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like he's overcome so much to get to this point.
Absolutely. He's not focused on the setbacks, you know? He's looking ahead. He's focused on the destination. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
And that image of being light years ahead.
Yeah.
I think that suggests that he's left behind all those people who doubted him.
Right.
All the people who represent the ordinary, the bus, you know?
Right, right.
It's really a message of unwavering belief in yourself, even when you're facing challenges.
Totally. So we've got this, I mean, we've really explored this multifaceted character, Joe Davis, right?
Yeah.
Who really kind of embodies, I think, the hustle, the ambition, the anxieties of chasing success, you know?
Yeah.
In today's world, I mean, he's flawed.
Oh, yeah.
He's driven.
Extreme.
And he makes us question, like, what are we really striving for?
And that right there is the brilliance of what Demigod Mingo is doing, right? Because he's not preaching.
Right.
He's prompting us, the listeners, to examine our own relationship with success, with wealth, with happiness even, you know, and it's up to us to kind of figure out what that means for us.
Yeah. And speaking of examining and figuring things out, here's a thought to kind of chew on for all you listeners out there.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen Joe Davis chasing the dream.
Right.
But what about you?
Right.
Where's your balance between, you know, hustling for that kingdom and making sure that it doesn't become some kind of gilded cage?
Ooh, that's good.
Something to think about. Until next time.